Kobani, despite her fearful attitude, her general lack of self-confidence and will to stand up for herself when people put pressure on her. She might have the largest impact in saving the world of Chainsaw Man, when compared to any other character in the series to date. Now I know how that's going to sound. How could I possibly say that she had more impact than Denji, the literal main character of the series, in making sure the series didn't come to a very messy end? Well, the answer is relatively obvious when you look at things objectively without the fog of emotions and other things getting in the way of our objective viewpoint. But first things first, it's time to shill my YouTube channel, because you know YouTuber stuff, so subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll do my best to keep making videos. But with that out of the way, let's get on to breaking down why Kobani has the greatest impact on the outcome of the entire story. Starting off with the main point and working my way through the less important ones, Kobani, at the end of the series, is the person who pushes Denji to a grand realization like no other person has before or after. Her words, telling him what it is to have a normal life, and incidentally pushing him to decide rather than just being Denji, he wants to be Chainsaw Man, which in turn puts him directly opposed to Makima, who before he was willing to just fall into her grasp, and even after being reassured by power and given purpose, he seemed lost, hopeless and without direction, unsure what path to pursue. It is only through speaking with Kobani, seeing the way in which she lives and the fact that he has a chance to choose a different path, that pushes him to actually take action against Makima and directly change the way the story would have otherwise ended. If you don't understand just how important that is, allow me to explain it to you. If Denji hadn't found the will to continue fighting against Makima, if he hadn't been inspired to be Chainsaw Man, both by Kobani's own words as well as the people on TV, Makima would have won. And if you can see how bad that would have been, I'm not sure what to tell you. The entire world would be different if she had managed to get her hands on him and break him again, which I don't doubt she would have been able to if he hadn't had his convictions reaffirmed by Kobani's existence. The fact that Denji is able to exist as a person at all, after what happened to him with Makima, power and Aki, is in no small part due to Kobani's influence. As if he knows it or not, she became a founding part of his new resolve, a resolve to not be normal and to not be used and manipulated like she was, because at the end of the day Kobani was a clear example of someone under Makima's control without the bliss of being ignorant of it all, and Denji saw that. But of course it goes further than that. There is also Kobani's interactions with the out-of-control chainsaw monster, her being the lone individual whom, despite multiple incidents, wasn't cut down by it and was instead an instrumental part in proving that, despite going mad with rage and sorrow, Denji's dreams were still being pursued, and that there was still a chance for him to return to his former self. If Kobani hadn't been there, if she had either ran away, attempted to harm him or done anything differently, I doubt that we would have been able to get the whole resolution with power helping Denji return to his human form. Kobani keeps Denji's humanity intact even while in the form of a very literal monster. And it's from that humanity that power is later able to draw him back out of the abyss, back out of the pit of depression and hopelessness, so that Kobani, as I said before, can help him recover his will to go on and stay strong. Of course there is more ways in which Kobani saved the world other than just how she interacted with Denji in the final arc. Let's instead look back on the other events she is either directly or indirectly involved in, which shape this series far more than what you might first realize. The next most major event would be the time in which she, a regular human, managed to save Denji from both the Snake Devil and the Katana Devil. Admittedly it wasn't much of a drawn-out fight and really only a single clash, but the fact that she was the only one there to defend Denji at that point in time really highlights her importance in keep the world spinning as it is. Which once again is a pretty impressive and important fact that can't be understated. If they had managed to get away with Denji, well, there wouldn't have been anyone left to take down Makima, other than maybe the Primal Devils, but they seemed mostly content not to involve themselves in Makima's plans, lest they come face to face. Then we can just look at the incidents where she wasn't directly responsible for something happening, but without her it wouldn't be possible. The first one that comes to mind would be the time when Power used Kobani's car to run over the assassin. No one else would have been such a pushover to let someone just take their car for a joyride, so in a way Kobani's patheticness was responsible for saving Denji's life yet again. But this is all just taking into account how Kobani saved the world from a story perspective. From a more viewer perspective, Kobani's continued existence helps to keep the series going after the death of both Power and Aki, two of the main cast, because she links us back to an earlier part in the series, before everything fell apart, and on top of that it also keeps us drawn in to see when she will inevitably kick the bucket and leave us even further traumatized by this marvelously twisted series. Of course this is all just from my perspective, and I'd love to hear your own perspectives down in the comments below. Do you think Kobani is as important as I make her out to be? Do you think she's just a character left alive on a whim? Tell me along with telling me what you'd like to see me speak about next. I've been the Anonymous Weeb, and I wish you a good day or night wherever you are. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell and all that stuff. See ya.